Now, this afternoon, how do you know if your program of study at the university is accredited or not? Should you find out the worst, what would be your reaction? Well, the 2021 Auditor General's report has cited two of Ghana's leading public universities, the University of Ghana and the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, for running unaccredited academic programs. In the case of KNUST, the report said out of the 360 programs offered by the university, only 61 have been accredited, with 190 of such sent to the National Accreditation Board for accreditation and reaccreditation, with 109 yet to be sent to the NAB for accreditation. Now, the Auditor General has therefore recommended to management to cease running programs that are not accredited or having its accredited certificate expired until they are accredited or renewed, to avoid sanctions by the NAB, which is now the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. Legon, on the other hand, requires reaccreditation of its advertised 374 academic programs. This is because the listed programs have expired. Now, let's share with you the exact findings as captured in the report. Now, according to the Auditor General for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, they noted that out of the 360 programs run by the university, only 61 have been accredited and 190 sent to the National Accreditation Board, which is now the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, for accreditation and reaccreditation, with 109 yet to be sent to the NAB for that purposes. They recommended to management to cease running programs that are not accredited or having their accredited certificate expired until they are accredited or renewed, to avoid sanctions by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. Here they use the NAB. Now, they continue to talk about what else they found in their examination. They also said that they noted that 4 officers who were granted sabbatical leave by the university took up various appointments in other government institutions where they are enjoying full, that basic salary plus other allowances and also monthly salaries, in addition to basic and market premium being paid by the university, which is KNUST, resulting in what they term double payment of basic salary and market premium by government in the sum of 488,868 cedis 69 pesos. They recommended to management to ensure that the officers refund the salaries paid by the university for the sabbatical leave period to the consolidated fund. Now, they also said they identified a number of defects during their physical inspection of the proposed construction of educational resort facilities for the Institute of Distance Learning at Mori. They recommended that the Director of Works and the project supervisors should rectify the defect identified at their own expense. Now, so that has to do with KNUST. Let's move on and talk about what the Auditor General report said about University of Ghana. They said they noted that the university has advertised some 374 academic programs on the various web portals that had the accreditation expired or requires reaccreditation during the period under review. They recommended that management should expedite action for the accreditation and reaccreditation of all new and expired academic programs, respectively. Now, attempt to reach both institutions, that's University of Ghana and the KNUST, to have a reaction have failed. The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission is the accreditation body. They have also not been responding to our calls for a reaction. We'll bring you those reactions as and when we are successful in securing them. But some of the students will be sharing their thought with us shortly on the development. In the meantime, however, still on KNUST, the Auditor General found out that 4 officers who were granted sabbatical leave by the university took up various appointments in other government institutions where they are enjoying full, that's basic salary and other allowances, monthly salaries, in addition to basic and market premium being paid by the university. According to the report, this has resulted in double payment of basic salary and market premium by same government in the sum of 488,868 cedis 69 pesos. Professor Solomon Nuno is UTAC president. He tells us what might have happened and the practice in the university fraternity.
What happens oftentimes is that the person or the institution might have submitted their documents for accreditation and then it may be delaying. So sometimes that causes some of these infractions to occur because for this particular report also, I must admit that I've not read the report to know that are they referring to new programs or they are referring to existing programs. More often than not, these problems arise as a result of problems associated with existing programs. So there's an existing program, the person has, the program is already running. So you have now submitted your documentation for it to be reaccredited. However, JTech, by virtue of the problems with their staffing, also may struggle in order for them to be able to get people to come to the place and review the programs as expected. So in a situation whereby they are unable to send the people, you also cannot say that the students who are in school should be sent home. So sometimes the issue has to do with problems with staffing at JTech, which seems to be they seem to be running on a very, very lean staff. And so sometimes these problems arise. But I don't think it's something that is unsurmountable. I think quickly JTech needs to organize and then send persons to these places once they have received the documents or the application for reaccreditation from the affected institutions so that they can reaccredit the programs for us to keep running. Because that seems to be the import of your question.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a salary and then I'm the one being paid. So if I'm being paid, for now, it's difficult for me to say that maybe the lecturer the institution between the two institutions, did they communicate enough so that they know that, okay, institution A is the one supposed to pay and not institution B. But where that communication doesn't take place, it becomes problematic. And for all you know, it may also be that the lecturer even drew their attention. I think in such instances, the onus lies on us, the ones who are taking the salaries, to also to draw the attention of the powers that be, so that the right thing can be done whenever such a thing occurs. You know, sabbatical leave is not leave whereby you can go home and rest. You are supposed to go to another institution and continue to serve the government or the fraternity. So once I go on sabbatical leave, let's say I've been sent on sabbatical leave to Joy FM, and Joy FM is a government-subvented agency. What happens is that in the past, I draw salaries from both institutions. I'll be getting my basic salary from my parent institution, whereas the new institution where I am, they will also pay me. Then recently, there was a directive to the effect that, no, for this particular one, you need to draw the salary from one of the institutions, either the parent institution or the new institution where you have gone to. So in this particular case, it's difficult to tell. Did it happen before the directive?
Professor Nunu is the president of UTAG. Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo says the country is determined not to compromise the integrity and quality of education at a tertiary level. He was speaking at a program at the Jubilee House to present a presidential charter to Methodist, Presbyterian, and Catholic universities.
Following the creation of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission under the Education Regulatory Bodies Act 2020, Act 1023, it is no longer mandatory for new tertiary education institutions to go into affiliation arrangements with existing chartered institutions to be accredited. This means that the standard of proof would be much higher for new institutions coming on board, as they will have to demonstrate capacity to hit the ground running. I will thus urge the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission to be even more vigilant in applying the new rules in order not to compromise the internationally acknowledged reputation of integrity and quality of Ghana's higher education system.
Now moving on to other stories. The suspended Municipal Chief Executive of Sekondi Takoradi, Abdul Mumin Issa, has been reinstated as Mayor of Sekondi Takoradi. The embattled mayor was arrested by the Western Regional Police Command on Thursday, February 3rd, for an alleged motor traffic offense, verbal assault, and offensive conduct against a police officer who was performing his lawful duty. Mr. Abdul Mumin Issa was arrested when a viral social media video captured a government appointee threatening the police officer with a transfer, among other things. This led to his suspension and was subsequently arraigned in court, where he was granted bail to the tune of 100,000 cedis with 3 sureties after pleading not guilty to the charges. News of the MC's reinstatement was communicated in a letter signed by Dan Botwe. The Minister of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development confirmed the reinstatement. The letter, dated August 27th and addressed to the Western Regional Minister, said, "I wish to inform you that His Excellency the President of the Republic, in response to recommendations made by the Western Regional Coordinating Council, has given approval for the reinstatement of Mr. Abdul Mumin Issa as the Metropolitan Chief Executive for the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly." Now, Richard Fiadomo is a local government expert, and he's been sharing his thought on the latest development. He says the news for his reinstatement coming before the court adjudicate the matter is a source of worry. But just before we bring you that one, let's share with you details of that letter signed by the minister there. But let's bring you what Mr. Fiadome has been telling us on News Desk.
Right. He has reinstated the man, so he should come and tell Ghanaians why he reinstated the man. Then if he comes to tell all of us that, yes, initially it was an illegal act or it was in error and he's amending the error, then we move on. But as we speak, there is no explanation. So clearly, what the Chief Executive, the reason for which he illegally suspended him, it is a matter that is sub judice. It's before the court. So if the court is still running and the case has not been brought to finality, then I cannot sit here and enter into the president's head and know the exact reasons for the reinstatement. I can only hazard a guess to say that maybe the president, upon hindsight, have realized that his action was an illegality based on which he has reinstated the chief executive. If not, it will be very difficult for me to provide any suggestions why the president did that. He would be the best person to answer that question.
So that's Fiadoma there sharing his thoughts on the reinstatement of the Sekondi Takoradi MC. Now, to Parliament now, there's more pressure on Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Menu over the lack of work at the site of the demolished La General Hospital. The health facility was torn down in March 2020 to pave way for the construction of what government said would be an upgrade and ultra-modern facility. More than 2 years on, the site is still literally bare with no major works ongoing. Ranking member on the Health Committee, Kwabena Minta Kando, led journalists to the site and accused government of abandoning the project and lying to residents in the hospital's catchment area.
We are very disappointed, honestly, and it is an opportunity for every indigenous in La should come here and have a look at this, because those who reside at this place are very disappointed, because we were told this is going to be done in 2 years, and today we are almost over 2 years now, because this place was closed down somewhere in March. So March is already 2 years. The demolition took place in August, so the 2 years is done. And look at the state of the place. A car park. People can play football here, they can play Fortuna and whatever. They decide to just demolish this place because they know they don't have the means to do it. Not to do it, but it's a deliberate thing that this is La. And most of the people say is La Manfefe me. So they want to disgrace us as La. That's the reason why they've done this. I believe if this were to be in some of the regions, it's already been done.
The situation is very, very bad, because within this area, when you are sick, before you can do something, you have to take a car to Latenu. Latenu, when you go there, 8 o'clock p.m., they have closed. Look at this, my hand. I was hurt about 1 month in the evening time around 9:30. You get there, they have closed. You have to take a car to 37 before you can see a doctor. Even to pick a drop-in from here to 37, you have to pay 30 cedis. So your in and out is 60 cedis. But if it's here, it's just around the area, you can walk in and find a doctor to take care of you.
So 2 years. More than 2 years now.
More than 2 years. It's more than 2 years. This August was 2 years. So it's more than 2 years now.
So what is your message to government?
My message to the government, we are pleading with him. This is not how we discuss. We said he promised that he's going to end the hospital by 2 years. But it's more than 2 years now. We are suffering. All those sellings here, look at their containers because of the sea. So you see, Roger, it has rusted. They are not selling anymore. People have lost their jobs here. So we are pleading with the government, with those who have lost their jobs here, and with the area, when we want to go to the hospital, how we can go to the hospital just within a short time. So we are pleading with him to come and put up the hospital for us.
Our parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante is with me on the phone now. Kweku, you went there. Describe for us what you saw.
So at the site now, there are no ongoing works. There are actually no personnel on site except the security personnel who are manning the facility. When you go inside the yard where the former hospital was before it was demolished, there is a building that was springing up, but it has just been stopped at the very foundation level. The last time the committee was there, the building, that particular construction was still at the same level. There are also some plantations around, some okra that has been grown around. And there were also a few people around who were packing things from the site and leaving. We're trying to find from them where exactly they were sending the materials and other things that was supposed to be used for the construction too. They said that they did not have any answers to give us because of some officials that have just asked them not to do so. And so currently on the site, there are no work ongoing. It's locked with just security personnel on the site who have been telling us that they were expecting that some construction work would have taken place since the minister came, but none of that has taken place yet.
Interesting. You didn't get a contractor to find out why the work has halted yet?
Indeed, the contractor is not on site. There is that building that is supposed to house the specific officials, the contractor as well as other construction workers. It is empty and it's also under lock. There are no officials around at the moment.
All right. Thank you so much, Kweku Asante, for that. We'll keep an eye on that development and we'll be updating you with everything we are able to find. Now, residents of Kajebi, the district capital of the Sena East district of the Bono East region, are bitter about how they have been neglected by successive government in terms of road development. The residents say armed robbers are taking advantage of the poor state of road to rob them of their valuables. And as Sabet visited the area and came through with this report.
Sena East District is one of the 11 districts of the Bono East region. The main occupation of the inhabitants of this district is agriculture, with majority of the people being fishers. The district, since its creation in the year 2012, has seen little or no development in terms of road construction. The terrible state of the Kajebi town roads, according to the residents here, is adversely affecting general economic activities of the people.
The
road is filled with water each time it rains, and the same applies to the market, and that is our biggest challenge.
We were
promised after a short-cutting event that our roads will be fixed, but you are a witness to our situation. We have indigenous occupying the DCA and MP positions. They have to come together to help develop our communities. The people say the current state of the road networks within the area has led to the death of several people, some through armed robbery attacks, and others who are on referral to the Kwame Danso Government Hospital lose their lives before they get to the health facility.
Armed robbers
Armed robbers are all over our roads. A lot of people have been shot. My close friend was killed on this same road, so we beg them to come to our aid. To the traders who visit the Sene East district to buy fish, the terrible nature of the roads is adversely affecting their trading activities.
We are from
Ayachekope and we suffer a lot when coming to the market. It's not helping us at all. As a result, some of us are going to Karachi across the river to trade. And that isn't safe either.
Enti ayesa no fe asantifo na no mo ba dwadifo na mo beto na mo kono se omo mba bi because of omo suro ebi asi amomo ashutu obi akunu chichani ama chiches for a demonstration okromu ha nyina
kwan se ban kwan so nya kura kwan nya pata kwan ye nti e wo se ban se kwan ye o maye maye nti e se kwan nye edwa no so enya papa.
With government's year of rules promise, I inquired if they've had a feel of this particular promise, and this is the response I heard from the people.
Yes.
It is this same government that promised the year of rules, right? We've not had our share. Even the main road has not been built, not to talk of the drainage. And also the cry, the end can want some cry. And the year of rose, no. Yet, Mr. Okuma, the year of rose is only working in the cities. As a piece, I am asphalt. Manu Samuel Alassane operates an information center here. He says the neglect of the district by successive governments is largely to blame for the rural-urban migration in the area.
And now I say, because brain drains, I brain Nipana, Januko Chrome, Gamun develop on Graciano. As will be on a Gracia, Nanibaji. Now what's now on the way?
This is why the youth are all migrating to the urban areas. So until we focus on developing our rural areas, this is what we'll be experiencing, and this is why there is hike in criminal activities in the cities. Well, for these people, their passionate call on government is to turn its attention on the people of Kojo and the Sene East district in terms of giving them their share of the year of rose promise. All we ask from government is to come to our aid in terms of developing our road network. Anna Sabit, JoyNews, Kojo in the Sene East district.
Now, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, is strengthening its eye testing regime to enhance safety on the road. According to the authority, the present order where staff without the necessary qualification administer the service has proven ineffective. Beginning September 2022, all services requiring eye test for applicant will be done by certified optometrists. Daniel Jima filed this report.
The new eye testing regime hinges on Regulation 29 of the Road Traffic Regulation 2012, which requires all prospective applicants for driver's license to use the services of only registered optometrists or ophthalmologists and the designated facilities. The DVLA believes basic eye tests conducted by the authority over the years have not fully revealed eye defects of drivers.
The current administration of the eye tests has certain limitations, simply because it is done by the DVLA staff. And these are not people who have the right competences, knowledge and skills for undertaking the test to the level that will show certain eye challenges if a driver should have it. And of course, the basic test also we have found out that does not give the full condition of a driver's eye.
Statistics from the National Road Safety Authority show 1,300 persons were killed in road accidents between January and June this year. Within the same period, 7,997 persons sustained various degrees of injury. Though the accidents are not linked directly with poor vision of drivers, the DVLA believes improving the standards of tests can improve conditions on the road. Kafui Semevo is Director of Driver.
The essence of this is not to deny people driver's license, but it's to ensure that when you are licensed to be in the public space, you have met the minimum requirements and you are safe yourself. Your other road users are safe when you are around them. Those are some of the benefits. The other thing is that because we are receiving these reports electronically, it creates opportunity for the DVLA to now look at another service of renewing the driver's license online. We've not gotten there yet, but it's a very good opportunity this reform is bringing. So we are looking at it. When the time comes, we will let the public know what to do.
The reviewed process will ensure certified members of the Ghana Optometric Association perform the eye test on behalf of the DVLA. Results delivery in this system will be digitalized to deal with possible doctoring of the results. Meanwhile, the Ghana Optometrics Association explains some new tests will be added to the process. Dr. Remy Ningpe is president of the association.
Some of these tests include things like color testing to enable drivers be able to see well with colors, the traffic lights, the road signs and signages on the road, so that they are sure that they are seeing and are being seen well on the road. We are also going to test and make sure that drivers who probably would have had some conditions that will prevent them from seeing well in the future, identify them now and be able to solve them. Just a few people here, we can notice one or two people already wearing glasses. That enables them to see better. How many of our commercial drivers do you see wearing spectacles? Is it that they are all very good sighted people?
Now, traditional authorities in areas affected by irresponsible mining in Ashanti region have expressed their displeasure over assertions that they hold a major stake in stopping illegal mining. The chiefs say they cannot be blamed by politicians for the wanton destruction of land and pollution of water bodies when licenses and protection for miners are led by political leaders. This was after the Deputy Lands Minister, Mreku Duka, had emphasized on the role of chiefs in ending galamsey at an illegal mining forum organized by the ministry in Kumasi. Rastos Asaridonko has more.
The polluted nature of the River Ofin and other water bodies in the Ashanti region due to illegal mining has recently attracted public outcry. The forum, which attracted district and municipal chief executives and traditional leaders across the region, was to pool support in dealing with the menace at the local level.
We will not ban mining of gold in this country as a government. We will not ban it. But we are mining responsibly, that's all.
A submission by the Deputy Lands Minister, Mreku Duka, on the role of chiefs in ending galamsey did not go down well with the chiefs. All of us gathered here know those polluting our water bodies. We can't deny that. We know them. Every land in Ghana has a custodian. We know our land and water boundaries. If we decide now to ban mining on our water bodies, it will end. In reference, the chiefs blamed politicians for fueling the practice while indicating their helplessness in dealing with the miners. Galamsey has gotten out of hand because of you politicians. Today, our cocoa farms, forests have been destroyed because of you politicians. Because the miners come with licenses from you. and they are protected by military and police. Now all our sacred places in the forest have been destroyed. Those boys you assign to follow the miners are the ones who take them to the forest. I ask, as you send the miners down to mine our lands, do you want us to starve? The Mentiahene of Bekwai, Nana Kusi Frimpong Kotobre, indicated the presence of military personnel still protecting miners in the Kobro section of the Apamprama Forest Reserve. In Amansia Central, Kobro Forest, soldiers are protecting miners there to mine as we speak. We chiefs cannot deploy soldiers to the forest. If I could, I would ask them to accompany me to the farm. Deputy Minister for Lands in charge of forestry, Benito Wusubio, responded.
Forest reserves,
we will not allow anybody to mine in the forest reserve. As you notify us, the Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission will prompt the District Forest Manager. If you show us the place within 24 hours, you will see what will happen.
Within 24 hours.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mrekuduka has hinted of new plans to police the country's water bodies against illegal mining.
We've commissioned out some boats that will be patrolling the river bodies 24/7. And we are doing that in conjunction with the Naval Command. We've also set up a situational room at the Minerals Commission who will serve as an anchor of whatever they do on the field. We're tracking all earth-moving machines. So if you even have a concession, which is legal, and you have, for example, an excavator, and that excavator is tracked, and you move the excavator out of the confines of that concession, it will be deactivated unless you come to Minerals Commission or you call and explain the reasons why you got the machine out of the confines of that concession before it will be activated.
Reporting for JoyNews, Erastus Asaridonko, Kumasi.
As you're watching the JoyNews today, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we have latest from the world of business. Stay with us.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Beverly Broom. It's time to do business. The International Institute of Tropical Agriculture is promoting new varieties of crops under its Accelerating Impact of SIGA Climate Research for Africa project. The varieties are to help farmers increase yield in the midst of the current climate change. As part of the awareness creation, a field demonstration was held in Waribogu in the Tolon district of the Northern Region. Martina Bugri reports.
The Institute of Tropical Agriculture, as part of its awareness creation, held a field demonstration at Waribogu in the Tolon district of the Northern Region. In an interview with JoyNews, the National Project Coordinator of Accra, Alhassan Tala, said these varieties would help improve farmer livelihood because of its high yield and early maturity.
This project actually is operating about 6 African countries across Africa, and Ghana is part of them. In Ghana, we are actually promoting climate smart agricultural practices and some selected value chains in Ghana. That this is a very good intervention for farmers, and the reason being that it's going to improve their livelihood and their time of their need. Some of the varieties that we showcase actually show that because of its early maturing nature, farmers are better positioned to actually get more and then to actually reinvest into their farms. Like one of the examples was that maize is actually a heavy feeder on fertilization. And if you use early yielding varieties for maize, what it means is that you can get more and then you can reinvest in that fertilization.
Project Technical Lead on Technology Identification and Upscaling, Dr. Osman Tahiru Damba said, a national exercise of identifying climate-smart technology practice within 6 regions of Ghana was held before prioritizing and narrowing down to 5 agricultural practices based on the commodity value chain.
We started from a whole process, a process of going through a national exercise of identifying climate-smart technologies or practices within 6 regions of Ghana. Then we did our prioritization because we are of the view that a number of determining factors or criteria will lead to a farmer either using 1 or 2 climate-smart.
4 universities are to benefit from an initiative of the Ghana Digital Centres Limited to equip students and graduates in entrepreneurial skills needed to develop their project into viable businesses. With the help of the GDCL's Tertiary Digital Innovation Program, Ghana's tertiary institutions will be able to commercialize research and project outputs into sustainable enterprises that will support employment creation. Here's more.
The Ghana Digital Centres Limited held its first Tertiary Digital Innovation Program Roadshow at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to engage students on the initiative. The program has been designed to identify and onboard 10 teams from 4 universities to help them build viable business modules, product prototypes, market testing, and a full launch plan. Edward Akins is project coordinator for the Tertiary Digital Innovation Program.
Tertiary Digital Innovation Program is a program designed by the Ghana Digital Centres Limited to develop research and project works of final year students of tertiary institutions into tech businesses for entrepreneurship and employment opportunities. So final year students will be encouraged to apply through a dedicated portal which will be set up for that process.
According to the Institute of Statistics, Social and Economic Research of the University of Ghana, only 10% of graduates find jobs after their first year of completing school. On average, it may take up to 10 years for many young people to secure employment after graduation. Professor Emmanuel Kofi Akowa of the Department of Computer Engineering, KNUST, explained how the partnership with the university will reduce graduate unemployment.
We have a lot of innovative ideas that we do here, and then they don't get into the market. And this kind of relationship is going to afford the students the opportunity to go through a properly thought out process, to be able to go through the whole innovation process, develop viable products, and also, add the business side of things to that. Because there's one thing having the technology and the technical aspect, and one thing also having the business side of things.
Some participants spoke to Love News.
And I think that this program is going to help me personally because for years on end, students have worked on projects, put their hearts out into their projects, and nothing comes of it. Most of the times, as one of the organizers mentioned, the lecturers use it for writing papers, and then it just goes down the drain. But I think it's going to expose us so that we can make practical use of the projects that we've been assigned.
I think this program is a good initiative. This is something I've really longed for a very long time. We have wonderful ideas, my colleagues and I, but most of them, people see it to be something, people have crazy ideas, but they see it to be something that needs a lot of fun to come up with.
Anita Sawajuga's report, read to you.
That's all for business now. We have more business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Up next is sports. My name is Beverly Broom.
Time now for sports on JoyNews today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Reports coming in from the Netherlands suggest that Ghana midfielder Mohamed Kudus has refused to train because he's forcing a move away from his club Ajax Amsterdam. Reports have suggested that the Ghanaian midfielder wants a move to Everton, whom many have said is believed to have reached an agreement with Mohamed Kudus, but the club insists he will not be departing the Johan Cruyff Arena. Some more sports stories. World Athletics Council member Beatrice Ayukuro has warned that Africa could lose its best athletes to the World Athletics Championships following the decision of the continent to organize the Africa Games 2023 at the same time the World Championships will be happening in Budapest. The Africa Games 2023 is expected to end on August 19, 2023, which is the day that the Africa Games would be ending, and she reckons that the best athletes in the continent might not turn up.
I think we would like as Africa to have the best of Africa in Africa Games. That is principally that is the ideal. But of course, the realities on the ground may not be the case. Athletes look at World Championships as a way to, especially the top athletes, there's prize money that they have to go for. Many of these athletes sign contracts. They have to participate in the World Championships. So we may not deny that as Africa. And I think it comes back to the scheduling, because we scheduled this event after the World Championships were already scheduled. We are kind of like trying to fit into other people's programs. So I think as Africa, if we're going to have our events where we want our athletes to participate, we have to schedule these events way in advance. Then others will be able to schedule theirs according to ours, because that way, as long as we continue to be the last in scheduling, we're going to disadvantage athletes, and we cannot blame them. The athletes, for sure, they are going to go for where they can earn some money, and also where they have opportunity to qualify for Olympic Games. Of course, it doesn't mean that the events that we're going to have in the Africa Games will not allow athletes to qualify, but the level of competition may deny you an opportunity to qualify. If you have the top athletes in World Championships, you may not have the good times you want to run to qualify for Olympic Games. So that's where the challenge is. So for the athletes who are running 100 meters, maybe 100 meters, the hurdles, and maybe field events that come slightly earlier, as I said, they have an opportunity to double the two events. But for most of the athletes, they're going to opt for World Championships. And this, we cannot be able to blame the World Athletics to adjust, because these dates were set way in advance. Even as we talk now, they're already looking at a program for 2025, 2027, and we are still here. So that's really the challenge we have as Africa.
President of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreko, has called on members of the football governing body to pay monies due the association. The FA has a policy of receiving 10% transfer fee of players. However, clubs such as Tema Youth has been noted to owe the Ghana Football Association. Kurt Okreko says clubs that owe the football governing body will be pursued to pay.
Of the ESCO, or you are not in charge of the finance department, it is very clear you wouldn't know which clubs owe and which clubs do not owe. It is the responsibility of the FA to pursue every club that owes, because the foundation of this sport is run on money. And every club that owes this FA must pay, and they will pay. If you owe this FA, and you know that you owe this FA, we will pursue you and you will pay. Because without the money, we can't run football. And all of us have signed up to the basic agreements that run this our football association. So, Pama, we are not leaving any club who owes this football association. If Dreams FC, which is my club, owes this FA, Dreams will be pursued, and Dreams must pay and will pay. Same as Tema Youth.
That's it for sports. But
Good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on JoyNews today. Now, Ghanaian playwright Lateef Abubakar has partnered with the Spanish Embassy in Accra to put Ghana's theatre industry on the world stage with an adaptation of Miguel Delebis's 5 Hours with Mario. Speaking in an interview on Hit FM, Lateef says the play aims at deepening the Spain-Ghana relationship beyond traditional trade to art and culture.
Credit to the Spanish ambassador, His Excellency Javier Gutierrez. The initiative is from him. He reached out to me and he was like, we have one of the most popular novels in Spain since 1960, written by Miguel Delebis. He wants me to adapt this novel into an Afrocentric play. Will I be able to do it? Because the novel actually has been turned into film and stage plays in Spain and across Europe. Very popular in Europe. So they've never seen the African version. So he threw the challenge to me. I picked up the challenge. I thought it was easy until I saw the book. 247 pages. I had to read and rewrite the book into a stage play. And this is the birth, or was the birth, of 5 Hours with Mario.
Wow.
Yeah. So
5 Hours with Mario.
The first Afrocentric version of the popular novel 5 Hours with Mario. It's a kind of stage play that you would see yourself in it.
A typical Ghanaian woman.
I'm telling you, everybody, both the male, female. So I always say that this play is suitable for people who are married, people who want to marry, or people who are thinking of being in a relationship. In brief, it's a reflection of society, who we are in our society. That's what the entire play is going to be about.
Now, Chris Rock reportedly revealed during his comedy show in Phoenix that he was asked to host next year's Oscar show, but he refused. That'll be all for Showbiz here on JoyNews today. My name is Becky, the Small Showbiz News, and our subsequent bulletins. Good afternoon to you, Grace.
Hi, good afternoon. I hope you're well.
Yes, fantastic.
And that's all in our bulletin for you today. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Remember, this news was also live on Joy Prime. Up next is Marketplace with Daryl Call. Good afternoon.